Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 is finally here, and you are looking to make that New Year's resolution of getting that online cheddar, getting that online bread, making some money for the first time, starting that side hustle. Even your grandma's asking you about getting into Bitcoin and crypto and Doge and Dog Nuts coin, you name it. There's a million different directions to go out there. My name is Blake Rocha, also known as Mr. 4 to 8. I've done every side hustle in the book, from crypto to stocks to running an agency to doing Amazon to drop shipping. I now have an Airbnb business and a portfolio that does $3.4 million a year. I have a coaching program. Folks, I've been around the block, and at 26 years old, having made multiple 8 figures, I can tell you with certainty that there is a definite ranking system for these different side hustles. And so what we're gonna do today is I'm going to go through on this computer ranking system and drag and drop around some faces that you may recognize, folks, showing you what, in my expert and sometimes non-expert opinion, what the best side hustles are for 2024. Let's get into the video. First and foremost, we are going to start with trading, more specifically day trading, whether that is penny stocks or whether that is options. I have a pretty big background in trading. In fact, I ran 2 of the largest online trading communities in the world, Wise Guy being one of the biggest, and I was day trading every single day for 2.5, 3 years. Okay, so I have experience doing this, and I can tell you the pros and cons, and then we're going to rank it. Now, I'm gonna use this picture here of my good buddy Jay Dunn. He runs now definitely one of the largest coaching programs. He is a very successful trader. He trades options, more specifically the S&P 500 and Tesla and some of these big, these bigger names every single day. Now, the pros with day trading are you can make a shitload of money really, really fast. The con, you can lose a shitload of money really, really fast as well. The learning curve for learning trading, it is something that needs to be studied in the books. Now, the fact is, and I want to say it is like 90 or 95% of day traders will lose their money over the lifetime of trading. Trading is a very difficult game, and much like gambling, especially early on when you don't know what you're doing, a lot of people get sucked in because they may have had a really good trade during the COVID times when everything was going up and every bet that you were making was working out. But what starts to happen is you realize pretty quickly that you really don't know what's going on in the markets, and you're trying technical analysis, and everything is hinging on this TA, and then what happens? You lose your money, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna go learn fundamental analysis. I'm gonna go learn price action. I'm gonna learn volume. There's a million different ways to learn trading and looking at the charts, and everybody has their own coup de grace or their holy grail of trading. But the fact is, most people are going to lose money trading. I definitely had years where I lost money trading. I had a year or 2 where I'd made money trading. But what I didn't love with day trading, it is addicting. Many times it feels like gambling. I had very low emotional control over when I would lose a trade, getting like a revenge trade in and losing more money. It was affecting my mental health. I didn't like that in order for me to make a certain amount of money every single month, I had to wake up and trade successfully. And so for me, after years of doing this and waking up every single day and people kind of relying on me, on my decisions that I was making and my opinions on things, to me, trading was definitely not the best way to make money. Now, it can be an effective way to make money if you're some of the top tier guys like Umar Ashraf and Jay Dunn and Brett Simba. There's a lot of guys out there that are fantastic traders. But at the end of the day, it simply was not for me, and I'm going to give my professional and respectful opinion on this. I will rate trading as, drumroll please, C+. Now, the reason why I'm giving trading a C is really just statistics, okay? Statistics show that over the lifetime of trading, like I said in the beginning, you are probably going to lose your money. It simply is a fact. The people that stick with it for years and are dedicated to learning, those people are going to be successful many, many times. But for most people, I don't want to send you in a direction that you're going to lose money, so we're going to give trading a C. Next, we're going to jump into agencies. So, what is an agency? So, an agency model can be damn near anything, and more specifically, there's agencies that focus on helping people with a task that they may not know how to do. So whether that's an email marketing agency, a copywriting agency, a video editing agency, now they're calling themselves growth partners, where they step into your business and rather than charging you $4,000 or $5,000 a month, they're going to charge you a percentage of the money that you're making every single month. Now, I have worked with a lot of agencies over time. I've found that working with agencies is really kind of a and most people should not work with agencies. And the reason why I say this is most of the time I've made my money and I've learned a lot by simply trying things out and doing them myself. Now, that doesn't mean that it's the best way to do things, but it's a good way to learn the business, and then you can hire somebody and bring them in-house to do that thing for you. So rather than paying, a video team, an email team, a texting team, an automations team, and you name it, by the time you're doing that with everybody charging you $4,000, shit, you are already down $20,000, $25,000 per month before some people are even making money. All that money going down the drain when if you would have just brought it in-house, you could have definitely lowered your costs. And if you find the right A-plus players, it's going to work out better from you. So that's my standpoint as somebody who's a business owner working with agencies. Now, as somebody who owns an agency, this can be a very lucrative and scalable business. The pros of this business are if you set up the systems, right? So let's just say that you were building an email marketing agency. So you know how to use ConvertKit, you know how to use MailChimp, you know all the automations and sequences to be able to step into a course creator's business. You have all these different days that you're going to be sending out these emails. You have a copywriter on your team. Essentially what you're doing as an agency owner is typically you're just handling like sales calls and then operations on the back end. But seemingly how it's worked in my experience is when I talk to these people, they give you this grandiose pitch on like how they're going to step into your business and oh my God, you have 40,000 emails. We're going to make you so much money. And a lot of times with agencies, they simply just can't follow through. And it is difficult to follow through as an agency because what they're really focused on, and this is why it's a pro for the agency, but kind of a con for somebody who's hiring an agency, is they're focused on getting more clients and handling more people. And a lot of times they scale bigger than they're able to handle because if you have 10 clients at $4,000 a month, you're making $40,000 per month in revenue. Now, after you pay out everybody on the team and maybe it's a lean team, maybe you take home $30,000. But that's a lot more scalable than just working with one person unless that person is huge and you're a growth partner with them and you're taking a percentage. So I don't like that. What I do like about agencies is it really doesn't take too much of a startup cost for you to start. So that's another pro. The con of an agency is you're always working for somebody else. So even though you're a business owner, this is one of those businesses where you're actually always working for the client. And so it really at some level isn't much different than just being an employee. Essentially, you're an employee of 10 companies now. So agency ownership, I am going to rate a, drum roll please, and we're going to use Iman Gadzi for this picture since he seems to be YouTube's fan favorite for agency ownership, and he's promoted the shit out of it and sold 1 million courses to a bunch of 19-year-olds who have no money in their bank, and he's just trying to get them in the program. We got what you're doing, Iman. No problem there. We're going to give agency model a B. B for Bravo. Good job, Iman. You got people in. Let's do UGC. How many of you guys are familiar with UGC? You ever heard of the term before? So UGC stands for user-generated content, and for this picture, we're going to use the beautiful, the luscious, dare I say sexy, Alex Earl. Okay, Alex Earl is a great example of this. You guys have all probably heard of her or seen her on TikTok, and what UGC creators do are, these are typically people that are making like lifestyle videos, day in the life type of videos, and they've amassed this huge audience of people that want to see them put on makeup, or they're runners and they're kind of walking you through their everyday runs and all these different types of lifestyle types of content. Well, what these business owners do, let's just say that you're somebody who takes care of, that does makeup. Sephora may reach out to you and say, hey, we'll pay you $5,000 to make 3 videos, and you need to feature this new product, or you got to feature this thing, and you need to tag us, and you need to push them with a call to action to our website to buy X, Y, and Z. The problem with UGC is that the con is that there are so many creators out there, number one, and then unless you're a fucking rock star, they really don't pay you that well. Now, just imagine if you're Alex Earl, you made $4 to $6 million in a year creating content. Great. Imagine if you made the same exact content, but you went the Emma Chamberlain route where you actually built your own business, you built like a coffee company, and now you own this business. And so every time you talk about it, every time that you promote it, you're making so much more money. Your margins are exponentially better, okay? Because UGC is not that scalable. So there are a lot of cons to UGC. Now, the pros are it takes 0 startup cost. You just simply have to make videos about your lifestyle. The other thing that's really difficult, another con about UGC, is that you actually have to really build up an audience and start getting you gotta focus on a niche. This can be very difficult to do if you're just starting out wanting to get into UGC. So if you're starting out and you don't have that big of an audience, these guys may pay you $200-$300 to make a couple of videos. So while it's not the worst way to get started in making money, I definitely don't think it's the best. I think the best pro of this is that you don't have to use any money to start this up. Simply grab the camera, start sharing your life, and pray to God that people listen to you and enjoy the content that you're putting out. So we are going to give UGC a drum roll please for Miss Sexy Ass Alex Earl. We're going to give UGC a D. You heard me right. We have given Alex Earl the D, folks. Look, UGC, I'm sorry, it's not hitting for me. It's really not hitting for me. I would be willing to give it a C+, a C-. Maybe we go up to C. I think that, the D sounds a little bit better. But mainly, guys, it's very difficult to do. It's really not that scalable. And unless you're one of the biggest rock stars, which even then, if you are, you're not making as much money as you would be if you started your own brand. Which takes me to Amazon private label. Now, many of you guys may be familiar with dropshipping and you're familiar with Amazon FBA, all these different things. But private label, today we're going to be using my good friend, a great mentor, mentor to me, Robert Oliver. Now, what Amazon private label is rather what we were just talking about a second ago, building a business from scratch, no drop shipping, no anything else, building a business and selling it on Amazon. Essentially, you are building your own e-commerce business. This is your own business. You're not just finding this Chinese wholesale slippers and calling them something else and selling them, on Amazon, right? That's the drop shipping model. Here, we're actually building out a company from scratch. Like, for example, my friend Rob Oliver, he built the Genius Company, and this was nootropics, especially he built this in like 2012 and 13 when they weren't even that big. Things that are gonna help you with your brain, things that are gonna help you with memory, things that are gonna help with energy, all that good stuff. You build a suite of products, you're selling it primarily on Amazon through private labeling. One of the pros of this is that you can have a really big exit, like he sold his company for $30 million. The barrier of entrance to this game is high because it takes money to make money. You have to start with at very least $10,000 to just get a basic product built, right? Like just a functioning model, a functioning whatever it may be. Let's just call it a supplement company. So that's going to be a con. Another con is that it can be very difficult to grow if you don't have a plan with marketing, and whether that be influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, driving traffic from your social media, building a social media team out. Like, this is a very labor and mental intensive business. 100%. I'm not going to bullshit you. Now, the pros are the margins are fantastic. The pros are you're building a business that is scalable and exitable. It's scalable because once Amazon starts pushing your product for you, it's essentially like, Amazon is its own SEO system. It's its own marketing machine. And so if you have the reviews coming in, if you have incentives for people to go and talk about this product, the other great thing is people can set up a reorder list, right? So they can have a cadence that they order it every single month. So much like a subscription model, you have a subscription of products that you're selling every single month, which is fantastic. The great thing is when you go to sell this business, you can sell it at a multiple, right? And so, if this business is making $10 million a year in gross and it's $3 million a year in profit, you can look to sell a business like this for multiple tens of millions of dollars, which is amazing. So I love this business. I'm going to actually give it a B. It's just, I would give it an A if there was easier entry into this. I like that the barriers of entry are actually high because it keeps like young kids and kind of dweeby people out of the business. If you can get this thing rocking and rolling the right way, this is an exitable business for a large chunk of change. And you learn a lot about marketing, a lot about building a business. The hard skills that you pick up are fantastic. I love it. Next, YouTube automation. What a fucking scam. Let's not even talk too much more about it. Let's just drag it into D, because YouTube automation is a joke. All that you ever see about YouTube automation is people selling courses on YouTube automation. Why is that? Because the only money that they're making is through you. That's right, folks. You are the product. Now, they may have had in a couple years ago an account that they made on YouTube that does jazz chill music, and they have the nature sounds music and Christmas music and whatever it may be. These videos that just stay up, they're running all the time, and they're just bringing in this crazy YouTube revenue because they have 2 to 3 million subscribers. The days of you doing that are so fucking over, it's not even funny. That is why the only people that you see are selling courses on this. I'm not even gonna spend too much more time on this. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. I know tons of people that have tried it. They've all got fucking scammed from these programs. Stay as far as fuck away from them as you can. Should we jump into crypto, folks? Should we just do it? Let's rip the band-aid off with the, I'm not gonna say beautiful and sexy SBF. We're gonna say scary as hell, tweaker, nerd, SBF, the poster boy of scamming in crypto. Here's the problem with crypto. People think that they're going to make $1 million on these shit coins. Now, I am a firm believer in crypto. In fact, one of my goals for this last year was to put half of my liquid net worth into Bitcoin, because I really truly do, and this is my personal opinion, I'm not pushing it on you. I believe that Bitcoin and digital currency and cryptocurrency are the future. Now, trading crypto is difficult. It's just like trading stocks. It is very difficult. Trading with leverage gets you wiped out. It gets people smoked all the time. And what scares me about crypto is in the ecosystem of crypto, what we always hear about is people that are just getting ran up for their money. So how many people invested in these bullshit NFTs and they were buying these pictures for $1 million of a fucking monkey, and now they're worth God even knows what. I haven't even updated to see what they're doing. In general, guys, crypto is a extremely unregulated and scammy industry. I've pretty much decided to stick with buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is my personal take and personal opinion. And for that reason, I would give crypto an A, right? But for the reasons that most people that I know, whether it be young guys or a little bit older, have gotten taken to the fucking shop, hung out to dry, their limbs falling off their body, and they lose all their money. It's sad to see. I don't want to promote all the shit coins, so I'm in between an A and a D. I'm going to give crypto a B. If we were just talking about Bitcoin and secure, just a more secure style of investing, I personally think that it would be an A. But for now, we're going to keep it at a B. Let's talk about Airbnb. So again, I told you guys, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. as an Airbnb investor, again, making millions of dollars doing Airbnb, owning, 18, 19 Airbnbs and been doing this for years, I can tell you the pros and cons. Airbnb investing, and more specifically what I do is I teach rental arbitrage, which is a style of investing for Airbnb where you rent a property and sublease it on Airbnb. The pros of that are that you don't need a ton of capital, you don't need a great personal credit, you can leverage business credit, and this business is highly scalable, I've had students get up to 10 units in just under a year because they just are rolling the money from one property to the next. And so rental arbitrage, great model. The cons of rental arbitrage are after 2 to 3 years, if the lease expires, then you have to give up the property. If any regulations change, it can be scary and you may just have to bail on your lease. If the property's not renting out and you didn't do the proper market research, you can get screwed over. If you don't do good photos, you can absolutely get smoked. So there are pros and cons to that. Now, purchasing Airbnbs to me is even better if you have the capital because you're getting a massive tax write-off using a cost segregation study. You are getting a business that somebody else is paying down your equity and your cash flowing. If you do the proper market research, you shouldn't have any problems. Now, the cons are this is not passive income. This is a labor-intensive business. It is a damn near a full-time gig as you start to scale. And now once you get to my level of owning a lot of properties and doing rental arbitrage, what you can do is you can actually delegate these tasks. You have an in-house property management team. You have an in-house person who is a project manager. And so I'm only actually managing these Airbnbs 30 to 45 minutes a week because I'm just jumping on calls with people. But that early startup phase, going and furnishing the property and flying out to wherever it may be, dealing with the guests and stuff, that is where the headache lies. And it's a learning curve, but if you stick with it and decide to scale your business, we're expecting to do over $1 million in profit next year, which is fantastic. There's very few other, kind of people that are teaching that and getting properties. So very, very excited about that. I'm going to continue to buy and do rental arbitrage in this business model. I think it's fantastic. I don't think it's going anywhere. All the rumors about Airbnb is dead. It's dying. Tell that to the $2.1 million that we made this year in revenue. I mean, I've shown the numbers. You can go on my Instagram. You can go on my YouTube. Go watch any of my videos. I have debunked the myth that Airbnb is dead. All that bullshit is just fear mongering. So I personally am going to give Airbnb an A. I'm not going to give it an S. I think that it's not for everybody. I'm going to be fair. For me, it's been a business model that I've tried. I've tried a million of them, and there has been nothing that has been more scalable, easier to digest, and just fun. It's fun. I've turned it into a family business. So Airbnb, A. Setting and closing. How many of you guys are familiar with setting and closing? I'm sure you see these ads from this guy. I think his name is Cole Thomas Gordon or Cole Gordon Thomas, right? Whatever his name is. He's kind of the face of all the advertisements. Guys, this is a business model that has been around forever. And nowadays, how it looks is you are trained to be either a direct message setter, which is somebody who sits in somebody's DMs and helps set a call. Setting a call basically means you're pre-qualifying somebody, determining how much money they have, and getting them ready to jump on a call with a closer. Now, a closer, typically, guys, we're talking about setting and closing. These are for high-ticket coaching programs. So I have a high-ticket coaching program that is currently $7,000 for my Airbnb program. It gives you access to the course. It gives you access to mentorship. I hold your hand in finding properties, and we have thousands of students that have been through this program. It's fantastic. If I wanted to sell to people and they wanted more information on these offer, rather than just sitting in my DMs or something like that, I would hire a team of setters and closers, which I do have. So my setters and closers will jump on the phone with somebody. Hey, how's it going? Where are you from? What are your objections to this? Are you familiar with this business model? How much capital do you have? Okay, great. We think you'd be a good fit for the program. Let's book a call with our closer. Boom. They jump on the phone with the closer. The closer is essentially there to answer any final questions and collect payments. The reason why I like setting and closing so much as a business model, I think it's fantastic. And I think there's a lot of people that are really, really bad at it, like horrible. And because there's a lot of guys selling coaching programs on this, there is a need in the market for good setters and closers. I would some of my setters and closers make, tens of thousands of dollars a month. I think that my best closer ever made $40,000 or $50,000 in 1 month. And that is with zero upfront cost. All you have to do is learn the skill. You can learn it on YouTube. You don't need to pay for any programs. And then what you need to do is just reach out to different course creators or different educators and pitch them. Hey, how's it going? Here's my background. I'm really interested in closing or being a setter or closer on your offer. Here's my experience. If I have none, whatever it is, great. I would love to work for this program. And so there is zero cost for you. The only thing that matters is that you actually get on a good offer. So that's a con, and a pro. It's half and half. If you get on a shitty offer, you're getting shitty leads. You're not going to make any money. If you get on a great offer, it probably is great for a little bit of time and then it kind of falls off. You've made your money. But another con is that you're moving from offer to offer all the time because you just are looking for an opportunity. So there's no safety with this job. But for a job that doesn't take much, if any, money to start, if you can just get comfortable on the phone and learn how to sell things, guys, this is a skill that is a lifetime skill. It is amazing for you to learn. And so I'm actually going to give setting and closing, believe it or not. Oh shit, I'm gonna give it an S. I just think that especially for you younger guys and girls out there, this is a fantastic way to get started in this money money-making space and really understanding sales. These are hard skills that you can leverage for the rest of your life. Just make sure that you're learning from the right people, and that if you get on the right offer, you will absolutely crush it. Next, let's talk about dropshipping. You guys have all heard about dropshipping. For some reason, the YouTube algorithm loves pushing dropshipping. Dropshipping is fucking dead. I don't care what anybody says, and you know, we got my friend here, Sebastian Georgiou, great guy, and he knows a lot about this space, and I'm sure there's a lot that you can learn. But if you're trying to build a business that is highly scalable, go check some of these dudes, and maybe don't go check my buddy Sebastian, but go check any of these other fools out there and be like, okay, show me your store. Ask for the receipts. Show me your store. Show me how much money you're making. Don't show me gross. Show me net. Show me fucking net how much money you're making right now. Talk about the previous offers that you've done that have been successful. When's the last time that you've had a successful drop shipping business? Because what you're gonna see a lot of the times is people go online and they make these, I'm gonna build a Shopify store and scale it from $0 to $100,000 in 90 days or whatever it is. Okay, if you're able to scale it that big and that fast in that short amount of time, why don't you just stick with it? You ever ask these guys that? Why don't you just stick with it, since it's such a good business model? And guys, if you don't know what dropshipping is, you're buying a product from China or from some other country. You're making a listing on any of these websites, whether it's Shopify or anything like that, of this exact same product with a new name, with a new website, with a new face, with a new brand, whatever it may be, and you're selling it for an increased price, and you're taking the difference in the margins, right? Some of the skills that you have to learn for this are marketing, ads, organic content. All these are really great skills to learn, but I'm just telling you from experience and I've done drop shipping. It fucking sucks. I've worked with a lot of friends that have built drop shipping businesses. They are a nightmare. And for that reason, folks, I'm going to give dropshipping a D. Dropshipping gets the D, along with Alex Earl, along with the YouTube automation boys. All right, next let's talk about a new one that's kind of popped up in the last couple years. And so we're gonna use Cardinal Mason. You might have seen this guy on TikTok or Twitter. He's absolutely crushing it, and he's been, I think he built a business that was doing about $50,000 a month for copywriting for people. I think copywriting is an amazing, amazing business. I'm already gonna drag it to A. Now, why do I give it an A? Let's talk about the pros and cons. The cons of this business are you have to actually be semi-good at writing. The pros, there's a lot of different structures out there that you can follow to get good at writing. Writing every single day is gonna make you a lot better. Maybe joining a copywriting program. There's a guy out there, there's a course that I recommend. I've taken it, it's fantastic. His name is Sam Parr. He's the host of My First Million podcast with Sean Puri. He has an amazing coaching program that kind of walks you through how to actually get good at writing. And if you get good at writing, guys, you know, maybe your startup cost is a coaching program, and that's maybe $900, $1,000, but this is a skill that you can use and scale very quickly, because people like myself would love to have a good copywriter that's helping me come up with more and more content every single day. And so copywriting, essentially what you're doing is helping people write emails, helping people write posts, helping people write tweets and threads. Copywriting is a fantastic business model. It is highly scalable. If you get 10 clients at $5,000 a month or 15 clients at $3,000 a month, you're making $45,000 a month, and all you have to do is work a couple hours per week. So with that, I'm giving copywriting an A. All right, let's talk about building SaaS. If you don't know what SaaS is, SaaS, it stands for Software as a Service. Now, everybody and their mom is getting into SaaS now, because you can sell at an 8 to 10x multiple with SaaS, because Alex Becker did it with Hyros and he made $100 million. Here's what that actually means. Alex Becker built a business called Hyros. It was making, let's call it $10 million per year, and then they sold it for a multiple of 10, and it sold for $100 or $120 million. Multiples mean people, multiply that business times 10, and that's what they sold it for, right? It's just very basic math. This is not the case anymore. You can't go sell a fucking software company at a 10x multiple, no matter what Iman Gadzhi says, no matter what Alex Becker says. I have talked to many, because I'm building a software myself right now, and it's very difficult. It costs a lot of fucking money. To put in perspective, my Airbnb software that I'm building will probably cost me $250,000 to $300,000 when I'm all said and done. So building a software company is really hard. Now, you have people out there talking about, oh, you have no code SaaS now. It's fucking bullshit. The only software that's ever going to be scalable and built where you can build a business that's that deeper and that can continue to scale is going to be building a full stack software as a service. And to do that, it costs a shitload of money. It costs a shitload of time. Building a software, there is just so many more cons than there are pros, okay? Ask Umar Ashraf. He's been building TradeZella, a great friend of mine. This has been like 2 or 3 years of working 12-hour days every single day, building and scaling a team, managing teams from overseas. Most of the time, your best developers are going to be overseas in the Ukraine and these Eastern Bloc type of fools. It is expensive. It is hard. There are a lot of softwares already out there. It is a convoluted space, it's a congested space. I personally would stay far away from software as a service unless you are absolutely bloated to the fucking gills, find a business that absolutely is missing the software and needs it, and you are ready to commit to 2 to 3 years of investing a lot of time, energy, and money into doing this. So with that, I'm going to give it a C. Next, we're gonna talk about building a clothing brand. I know that a lot of people talk about building a clothing brand. In fact, my friend right here, Dantes Akram, he's a beast, he's a badass, and he's built One Love Clothing and scaled it up. Look, building a clothing brand is a really cool skill. It's fun to do. If you have that artistic energy and it's just something that you absolutely think that you have a lock on, great. I think that the only time that building a clothing brand is worth your time and energy is if you have been building your content as a fashion type of person, as a fashion lifestyle type of person, and people love your outfits, they love your style, they love you. If you build a personal brand around that and then go start a clothing company that's actually legit, I think it's a fantastic idea. I would give it probably a B, but most people don't have any artistic skills. They have no ideas that are actually that good. They're gonna just go rip off another fashion company. It costs money to start up. If you do the dropshipping version of it, it's ugly, screen printed bullshit from China. So with that being said, I'm going to give it a D. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tez, I'm giving it a D. All right, let's talk about, last but not least, we're going to talk about video editing. Okay, so a video editing business. Now, there are a lot of pros and a lot of cons to this. If you're somebody who knows a little bit about video editing and you're interested in cameras and you're interested in Photoshop and in Sony and Adobe and all these different things that you're pretty skilled in and you can work really fast, well then great. You may have an opportunity to build a video editing agency. You can work with people like myself that absolutely need your help. But if you're somebody that's just getting into this space, you're gonna get laps ran around you by these people that are in the Philippines that I'm paying pennies on the dollar for, that are way better at video editing than most people in the United States. It's just a business model that, in my personal opinion, it's great and you should follow it if you are somebody who's interested in this lifestyle and love video editing. If that's you, then I'm gonna give video editing a B. But if it's not you, I'm going to give video editing a C. All right, that is it, folks. We have gone through the list of 2024's best side hustles and businesses to start. Again, I try to be fair, give my personal opinion. Let me know what you think about this list. How would you change things around? What differences would you make? Make sure you hit that follow button because we're gonna be going into depth on this channel about making money, getting healthy, learning Airbnb, and running up a motherfucking bag. I'm Mr. 4 to 8, and I'll see you in the next video.